I don't get to enjoy the music because my browser failed to play the video clip.
Oh no! Sounds like it's time to use a real browser and quit using Opera.
Like what I like. No, I'll eventually switch again. When this one starts giving me enough trouble, I'll make a switch again. That's kind of what happened
here on Instagram. All right, so Instagram comments do not show up in our screen over here. I gotta have Instagram on this screen over here to observe. That's the only problem with going live on Instagram versus going live everywhere else is you have to have the Instagram feed open to see the comments.
I can't. I mean, I could, but you'll let me know if there's any.
I mean, you should be able to open up the live on Instagram and see the comments.
I suppose.
Put it on the other screen.
Do we got people?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in there already. Hey, Instagram, hey, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hello, nurse. Neither one of us is a nurse, Rusty Stormraven, but I'll take it. Anyways, so today we're actually going live on Instagram also. Instagram has a separate comment feed from our main comment feed. So anyone on Instagram who wants to jump on here and take a look at us and be able to see all the comments, otherwise, hey, DFMD, hey from Brazil, Villain Sport does tech support. Yep, Langrick, thank you. That one law, a support made this villain. Yes, that one law. How you doing, man? I don't see it that often. We are going to be integrating TikTok Live into our lives very soon.
At least for the time being.
Oh, that's the Animaniacs. Hello, nurse. Yes. I'm following now. Rusty Stormraven.
God, it's been a while since I've seen that. Oh, TikTok might go away in 2 weeks, but we're gonna yeah, those question marks.
People are making a lot less noise about it now than they did the first time. So
yeah. Danny, hey, how you doing? No, miss seeing my guy. I've been working on that myself.
That one law, if I can help with that at all, go ahead and shoot me a DM. I'd be happy to talk about what I can do to help you out.
But to everyone here, I ate. Did you eat? How you guys doing? What did you eat today, Chris?
We went out to get brunch, and I had steak and eggs. Hey, Sean Mack, Napa. I had sirloin and eggs in like a demi-glaze with some asparagus and cheesy grits. And this was my first good experience with grits ever. Hey, Master Real 2, hello from Poland. Thank you.
Wow.
And we're on Instagram.
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
What? You do? Okay, cool.
Hold up.
Yeah, so speaking of grits, I have never had, until today, grits that I've enjoyed. They've always been, it feels like chunky oatmeal. I just don't like the texture. But the grits today had the texture of like smashed potatoes, where there's still like chunks of potato in it. And it was very soothing and Bash Brother 2, thanks for becoming a member. It was very, very satisfying, and I might give grits a shot again.
You can cook them 100 different ways and 100 different more. No, I
hope that voice acting workshop goes awesome.
Keep in mind, I got a voice acting workshop. That's awesome. Yeah, I was just talking to you about how we're gonna need to find more voice actors if this keeps up.
Yep.
Just to have the people when other people are not available, to have additional voices. We need we need more feminine voice actors.
What we need to do, honestly, is we need to put together a roster of characters that we might be doing calls with on a regular basis and put it out there and say, we need people who can do these voices. Please send in samples. And then we can put people's names down of they don't need to know this, but people's names down of who we've liked and kind of what our preference is for each voice.
Yeah.
Kind of reach out to those people as is. Hey, Avanti of D&D, how's it going? Those are the guys that I do live D&D shows with once in a while.
Which one?
Over on Instagram, Avanti of D&D. It's my God. There's a lot of people.
I haven't seen them comment yet, so I don't see them.
No, it just says they joined. You don't have that view because I've got the streamer view. They're doing great. There we go. So Avantia D&D here in Greenville does a show called Yes, Ands and Dragons, and they literally do a one-shot campaign. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half, and excuse me, that was a huge sparkling water burp. So their show is called Yes, Hands and Dragons, and they usually have 3 people, and those 3 people create. They use like D&D Beyond to literally create completely random characters. You just make me a random character. You get no input into it, so you often end up with like a dwarven wizard with 17 strength and 5 intelligence, just like crazy stats. And it's incredibly fun. It's super funny. The audience decides what the setting is. The audience decides what the goal is, where we work, what we're trying to achieve, who we're going to fight. And they have these giant dice that the audience throws onto the stage that tells us what the roles are for the DM. It is freaking fantastic. I really want to work with them to get their social media following and production improved. I just haven't had the time because they've got such a great show.
I think I saw an episode once, but I wasn't able to get through it, to be honest, because just the quality of watching it was so bad.
It's so much different watching it in person than on video. Yeah. Like live improv, live theater, just put onto social media typically doesn't do well unless they intentionally put it together. Like this group in England called Shoot Improv, because Improv is called Impro in England. They have this great production value, multiple cameras. Everyone's wearing a headset microphone, so you hear them very, very clearly. It takes a little bit to really set that up. But once they've got it, and you can create clips that are easily digestible, because literally Shoot Impro will do stuff where it'll be like you'll see at the top of the screen and it'll say they can each only say one word at a time, and it's that one word story format where it's like, once upon a time there was and they just go through it, and it's hilarious and wonderful, and the audience online understands what they're watching from second one, instead of seeing like this random clip of people sitting at a table talking about a role they took. You don't know what that is, and you swipe away. But Avanti D&D, I need to get with you guys again and talk about like a social media strategy. I think in part with talking about looking at other accounts that do similar stuff that are doing well and what their format is, so how you guys can kind of mimic that. Anyways, I've been off on that tangent. I love being part of that show when I get the opportunity. It's super fun.
And this is a a big difference in some of our comedic styles and preferences. And I want to answer Lauren Darkwing, but I want to say this real quick. So, my experience with improv is basically whose line is it anyways?
Yeah.
And I loved whose line is it anyways. Periodically, I was not ever somebody, still not, who could digest that type of comedy constantly. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I have strengths and weaknesses, and my improvisation can always use work. Obvious. When I try to do the Mark skit, I am surprised I have come as far as I have. I've tried to watch some of my earlier stuff, mm-hmm. like the first stuff I started, and I'm like, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And like the jump in quality is nuts.
So what you and I do, while it is improvised, it's not exactly improv. It's It's us, because while we're improvising our lines, we're just making up on top of our heads what the other person is saying, or in general, like the idea that they're going towards. Unless we script out and we have someone voice acting the other character's lines and we know what we're responding to, a lot of it is just kind of in the moment. Like they might say this, okay, I'm going to respond with that. Whereas improv, you really have to follow the yes and of, if I say, if I go, man, I really hate driving here in England. It messes me up being on the wrong side of the road. You as my scene partner should be like, but the rolling hills and all the sheep are pretty nice, aren't they? But you don't want to say something like, well, we're in Boston, because what you're doing now is you're saying no, but. And we don't really have the opportunity to do that unless you and I are literally doing an improvised video together in the moment, like we have done, like we did in the Soto versus Pop videos that I handily won.
Excuse me. Like my preference for comedy is like stand-up and written comedy. I much prefer a more fleshed out comedic take.
Thank you, Dante.
But it's definitely helped both of us to improve, especially me. My experience with you has far and beyond made things a lot easier creative wise than I ever thought they would be, especially when I lost my ability to write as much as I used to. Arthritis sucks.
Desert Goat, there is not right now, but there will be soon. I'm gonna try to. Hey, Pukoki, a good friend of mine, just joined the chat over on Instagram. How's it going? So what I do want to do is honestly, like today or tomorrow, I'd like to get that list started of characters that we could use voices for, and make that publicly available, so that people can submit just small samples, and just tell us, who they're voicing, and then we can just throw those into a folder and decide.
It can't be the generic line, because there's people who are really good at impressions and people who can actually do the voice. Like Popo's a really good example of somebody who can do both.
Yeah.
And then Derek is much better at impressions than stepping away from it, but he's good enough at stepping away, and he's gotten much better over the course. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that they could do Stitch's voice better on one of the videos, and I'm like, the line that you're probably thinking of is directly the voice actor for Stitch, not even Derek, because I ripped the part, and I'm like, you can't do better than the person who created the voice.
What, like one of the examples is like, plenty of people can listen to Thanos say, "I am inevitable," and just copy that pretty well. It takes the skill that Popo has to do all those other lines, stuff Thanos would never say, like the "Who's a pretty gauntlet?" That whole bit that he did, like he pulled that off so well.
He did.
And I think for a lot of people,
awesome job.
I think for a lot of people, it's a big stretch to go from impersonating lines that have been said to saying lines that will never be said by that character other than in our videos.
Yeah. Real quick though, Lauren Darkwing on Instagram. I'm just imagining different departments for villain / tech support. That would be pretty wild. So we've mentioned this before. From a company aspect, the call center aspect of the company is 3 departments. It makes no sense to go beyond that in a reality version. And we do play this very similar to improv, where I guess it's 99% reality, 1%, or flip that. No, it's 99, right? 99 to 1.
99% real, 1% weird.
Yeah.
Is the general improv rule. Our stuff is more like 90% real, 10% weird. But sometimes 10% real, 90% weird, depending on the video.
But if we were to all of a sudden have a bunch of different departments in a call center, people who have worked call centers like myself, Chris, who has worked the phones, would immediately get pulled away from the well, that's funny, but that wouldn't happen in the call center.
Yeah.
And what makes it so real, and we've had these comments, is that I could see that happening in a call center. We've had those comments a lot. Oh, I could see that happening in this scenario. I could see that happening in this scenario. And so we try to keep that. So from a company aspect, there is other departments. There's going to be an IT. There's a legal department. There is a work crew, basically R&D department, so on and so forth. And Levi and Chris, who are very high up management, would have interactions with these departments. But earlier versions of Levi and Chris, before they became like massive managers or whatever, they were just heads of the department or whatever, would not have necessarily interacted with these departments as much. There's an exception to the rule with Levi because he's been with the company for as long as he has, and it's just kind of everyone knows him. That's not the same type of interaction, which I'm going to wind up playing a part in the next Stitch thing, where one of the lines I say is like that me, John, and Napa wind up having a slight, very quick argument is like, there's a difference between the department still turning in its work and checking on its people. Like Levi is adamant that we need to check on IT and work crew because he gave him a bunch of work, right? Yeah. And I've got to figure out a way to put that in there. But it's going to be one of those things where we get to see that, and I really can't. Internet, no one.
Yeah, Colin Swigum. People don't know that I'm 3 raccoons in a trench coat either. I'm an intelligent raccoon that can speak from about here up. In the middle is the raccoon in the control center who controls the arms, and then the bottom is a weird raccoon with real long legs who controls the walking part. That's why I sit all the time. He's not good at it.
Herbert and Mickey. Do you mean? I learned a very weird thing about myself, and that is I can kind of do Mickey. Oh no! And I didn't realize that, and the reason why I found out is I got hurt. I was like, this hurts, fuck! And I just all it is just raising your voice and then like trying to go from there.
Chris is Krang from TMNT. Arguably, I have a better looking fake body than Krang does.
We didn't know what random universe he was dropped in, and of course, poor Levi. So, in order for me, as much as I would love to just like go ham on Stitch, I sent a message in the Discord because I needed to take care of the writing aspect of it. There is a storyline I am telling. So the next part of the storyline has to, because we're at a point where there's too many things in between, has to get to the point. We have to figure out what's going on, why we don't have contact with Nani, Lilo, what's going on with Mr. Bubbles. There's a bunch of stuff I've got to resolve very, very quickly. Oh. And if I had access to somebody who could cosplay as Mr. Bubbles and voice act as Mr. Bubbles, even if it was 2 different people, I could have a lot more fun with it. Yeah. But I'm going to write it as if I don't have access to those people. But I've given the spoiler before. We're going to wind up meeting the Borg. You guys are finally going to get your wish where he winds up seeing the Borg. It's not going to go the way anybody thinks it's going to go. There's a portion of where people are like, it's going to cause chaos. That part is true. So that's going to be fun. But outside of that, I will attempt, much like the Constantine series, to do some stuff that's outside of the storyline, where it's just having fun with Stitch, where he's going to go and that kind of thing. The entire Stitch series, though, has always been voice acted, so that's really difficult. Like, whatever universe we stick him into, wherever he goes, I have to think about who he's interacting with. And like we discussed earlier, we have to have these characters, people who can play these characters. And some of our stuff has literally been limited when it comes to voice acting to who do we have access to for a voice actor and what voices can they do really well versus that kind of still sounds like somebody else, you know? Popo's really good at a lot of voices. He's got like apparently 200 voices to him.
Really?
Working with Popo, and he will admit, and working with Popo, and he will admit this. While he can do some voices, he's got voices that are better than others, and that's every voice actor. Especially if you go from impressionist to voice actor.
Yeah.
People really loved a bunch of his voices that he did for 40K.
Yep.
Me and Popo had to come up with fresh voices. I looked them up. I found what the creators of the people who wrote the 40K universe thought a couple characters would sound like. And I was like, okay, that's supposed to be this. When he sent me back the clip for Slaanesh,
yeah.
He called it Abomination because when you listen to it, it's two voices overlapped.
Oh,
yeah. So he had to do two different takes and then we combined them into one voice. And it's Robert Godfried. And then one other person. I can't remember who the other one is. And that's how we created that. I have a note of who it is, though, thankfully. And that's how we created that voice. And then, of course, I modified it to have that echoey sound and whatnot.
Yeah. Hey, Goofus Gumbus over on Instagram. How's it going? Another good friend of mine. Another guy who works for the Avantia D&D.
Nice. And Dante's voice, I had a very particular voice in mind, and we were completely free to make what we wanted. And I was like, hey, do it like this. He was getting close, and so I did my version where I was like, I need you to speak with command and authority. You've heard me do the voice.
Yeah.
But I needed it, and I told him, I was like, I want it in your register that you can get to, because I can't quite get to that register without wrecking my
Popo's normal speaking voice is about as deep as I can get my regular voice.
It's so low. It's so crazy how low his voice is. And so people like hearing that people love his takes on those voices. And when we did the Zeech, right? I think I got like 3 different versions of that voice, and we went with and people guessed it, Segoroth or whatever. People guessed it, and I was like, yeah, that was. I didn't tell anyone, but that's what we were both like. I think it's this. We both landed on just a slightly different version of that, and it worked out so well. And I'm so glad we went that route. And to everyone here, if you haven't seen all 3 parts, we're not doing any. I'm trying not to do any spoilers. But if you have seen all 3 parts, I'm really excited for you to watch it from start to finish, how it's intended to be watched. Because I spent a long time on it. Especially because I could have shaved off about an hour and a half, 2 hours if I didn't have to worry about the audio being at least good enough that you can't tell. Like when I rewatched the other ones on the other social medias, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy that it's just like I can tell the difference, but it's not a big difference compared to what it was. Like compared to what it was, I'm like, this is not a jar. This is not a jar. You're laughing. You're not getting pulled out of it. Beforehand, when I was trying to edit it with the original audio, I could not watch it without getting pulled out. I was like, yeah. It was such a jarring difference in audio quality, especially when you jump from like yours to Nappa's, because for whatever reason, Nappa's was like perfect. Don't know why that was. And that was the thing that threw me for a loop, because I was like, okay, got one side that's good, one side that's bad, and I know for a fact he recorded them on the same day, virtually at the same time. What the hell?
Yeah.
So weird. Leo, so to everyone here, there is certain stories that are really difficult to tell in their current format. We are hoping, this is a hope, that we will get to do animations and stuff like that. When we get to that point where we can do animated stories, two things are going to happen for sure. One, my ability to tell a story will definitely shine through a lot better. And I'm pretty sure Chris's will too, because we've both have had ideas, fleshed out stories that we wanted to tell. And then we stop ourselves and go, how do we tell that in our format? We can't tell that in the format that we have. We've had entire writing sessions where the both of us are like, bam, 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 idea. And then one of us will stop the other and go, so how do we do that? And we have to cut.
It's not something we can do.
No, like it's either A, cut 90% of it, or B, get rid of it. Spinal Breaker, thank you so much for the donation. Morning chops, have a coffee or something on me. Oh, pardon me.
You all right?
Yeah, breakfast was relatively recent, so
gotcha.
Because I'm doing the intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Supposed to stop eating around 8, which I stopped eating around 8:30 because we'd gone out to eat and I had to wait a little bit on some food. So that's whatever. And then I couldn't eat until 9, so I ordered food from Walmart to cook, and I didn't get to sit down and eat until like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And I had just one plate of food. Let everyone else eat their fill. So I had some French toast. I had bacon, eggs, 2 different kinds of. I had 2 different kinds of sausages, but there's like 2 pieces of bacon, 1 piece of link sausage, 1 piece of round sausages, and they're small ones, not big ones. And the French toast was like 4 strips, so it was like 1 slice of French toast essentially.
Oh, okay. So it was like French toast sticks almost.
Yeah, it was French toast. Well, it's exactly what it was French toast sticks. And then I had a hash brown patty. I was like, I went onto DoorDash because I was going to decide. It's like, I don't really want a DoorDash food. And I was like, oh, the McDonald's breakfast kind of looks good. How much would it cost me to buy the ingredients that I don't have at home currently? And I was like, oh, it's about the same. I'm going to order the ingredients. And now I have enough ingredients left over. I don't have any more French toast. That like everyone devoured that. And there's not a whole lot in the great value French toast box thing. But I did get some pancakes for tomorrow. So tomorrow's breakfast is going to be a similar idea of like bacon, eggs, whatever, but just a smaller version of it because because they'll be just cooking for myself and probably Tobias.
Nice.
Would Jar Jar stand a chance against either the Predator? Which Darth Jar Jar? Absolutely. Because like the theory is that Darth Jar Jar is the master to Palpatine, right? That's the theory.
That's the gag, yeah.
Yeah. So, which would make him stronger than Palpatine. So yeah.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, that would mean that the Predators and Neomorphs would not stand a chance against. I need to say this. Constantine would not win if it wasn't for his, like, you take away one of the powers that became a power versus what it used to be, which is he literally has luck. One of his powers is luck, and the ability to talk and get his enemy distracted, basically, so that he can do something. And I'm like, I hate that was made a power, because it used to be just his bullshit was strong enough, and he was just like relatively like he had powers, but like his normal dude stuff is what really saved the day 90% of the time. And then it was made into a power, and I'm like, I hate that.
Yep.
Because it was much funnier to think about this guy who does have all this tremendous power, but it takes time for him to set things up, and he's just bullshitting his way to setting it up. That was much funnier to me and more believable in the DC universe, to be honest, or any universe outside of it, because I can totally see Palpatine, Darth Vader, anyone getting pissed off at him and flustered and trying to come up with comebacks. And because their ego would prevent them from attacking him outright and silencing him.
Yeah.
And that's how he would win. But no, he actually has abilities that would prevent himself from dying. The irony is that his luck also gets him in said trouble. He is where he needs to be, when he needs to be, and it will keep him alive long enough for him to have a fighting chance. That is how his luck works. And that's all he needs to win, is a fighting chance. When you can summon the demons of the underworld, the old gods, and make them do your bidding because they fell for a scheme that you came up with, you're not going to lose. He managed to get a demon to take his cancer for him. I mean,
he talked him into it.
Yeah.
Like, tricked him into it.
Right there.
Sorry, I'm working on the thumbnail for the Battle Beast video for tomorrow.
You're all good. I'm kind of like just, I have ideas, but I can't like. It's just been rough. I'm really glad Stitch came through. Pardon me, as well as it did. And then I want to work on the next part, and that's going to require a lot of attention and time.
Yeah.
And then once I get that done, then I can, like, even if it's just a rough idea of what I want to happen, because now I have to update it. It was written out. Did everyone hear? Yeah. It was written out, but because of all the change, when it was written out on episode 3, which was like 5 episodes ago. So a lot has changed.
Yeah.
I'm like, a good port. The original idea behind episode 3 works, but I now have to modify it to fit the current thing. To fit what has happened. As long as we get to see him crucified via lightsaber, I'd be happy. You're not going to see Constantine lose. And if he gets close to losing, I will bring Dresden into the skit in order to save him. And if Dresden was on the verge of losing, Constantine would be there to save his butt.
Yeah.
Those two guys, people love to see Constantine and Dresden win. It's not seeing the villains lose per se, so much as like these are rough, tough. I'm going to spit gags at you that are very adult-oriented jokes half the time, and so people love to see that.
Yeah, Dresden will, while you're fighting him, will sit there and make wisecracks.
Yeah.
And comment on the fight.
That's what I was looking for. Wisecracking Domino vibes from Deadpool, anybody? Yeah. Not quite the same, but very, very similar in how you may think about it. Like with Domino, it's like stuff is happening to the other people and so on and so forth. In Constantine's, he is having the events that he himself is causing work in his favor. Whereas Domino very much does not do the stuff. The stuff happens around them and they kind of flow like it. And Constantine pretty much has to pull the ladder down. And because he pulled the ladder down, it was connected to this wire, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Old school Domino in comic books and Constantine's power is very similar. I will say that. The old Domino was very similar in that aspect. Tyne would have a problem against Darth Jar Jar because he would nullify Tyne's luck. Darth Jar Jar will not make an appearance in the Tyne series, and the Tynes, unless like we really wanted him to lose. But the Tyne versus Darth Vader isn't part of the original mainline series. It will be part of the compilation of videos, but it will not be in the storyline version. So and the compilation won't even be in the same order, because I'll put it in the order that I think fits the best versus the story. Whereas the story of the Constantine one, there's parts that that Chris needs to do or that we needed to film for Dresden that will go before some of the Constantine stuff. So it makes more sense. The only downside to that is, like, considering that I've moved, is the background has massively changed. So what I'll probably do is try to take that into account when I'm building that out, so that we don't, like, people aren't going to care that much, mind you, but I do.
I get it.
I think we've done Darth Revan before. The reason the Constantine and Stitch series exist is because they were experiments. Constantine was an experiment.
Yep.
It did well. It kept doing well. It has continued to do well. And this is the big thing. It hasn't been consistent either. The Constantine series, that's a really good one. I like how simple it is. You don't always need a big, giant, flashy thumbnail. Sometimes, like, just straight and to the point is really nice.
Yep.
But Pony Bro, the Constantine series has had like 2 months in between, and they did really well. Like, they did well enough for the next one to go ahead and be done. Especially because the Constantine series is also one of those that is very low budget. It's go online, make it with the audience, have fun, hopefully produce something that's really decent. A lot of times the first draft of the Constantine series, in fact, every single first draft has gone into my channel first, and almost every single time I've rewritten it. And then the final better version will go on Villain Support. Like, the current version of the Tyne versus Darth Vader is massively different than what's on my channel. And that's because there's a lot of jokes that didn't work. I tried making what was essentially an entirely different video idea that I had.
Yeah.
With these insults work into the Tyne video, and it just didn't work.
Let's see here. Hayden Fox Zero on Instagram asks, "May I ask a question? Who do you think could have a fair fight with Ghost Rider?"
Ghost Rider.
A different Ghost Rider. Yeah.
That depends on Hayden. I need to ask you, do you mean regular Ghost Rider or do you mean cosmic Ghost Rider? Because there's a massive power level difference there.
So the answer of Hellboy came on both Instagram and here from Colleen Swigum.
Yeah. And that's definitely a good answer, but there is an easier answer to that. But I have to know if it's cosmic or if it's regular. Because cosmic isn't losing to anyone except gods for a reason. Right here. Steven's got it. Anyone who hasn't killed anyone or who is considered pure of soul, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, would be an example of this. But if it's cosmic, it doesn't matter. The penance stare isn't his main power for cosmic. Whereas the regular Ghost Rider, the penance stare is his huge, like, power hold.
Yeah.
Cosmic, you ain't getting a good fight out of it. Lobo maybe.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. Cosmic Ghost Rider doesn't. Cosmic Ghost Rider was so strong, the previous iteration of him had to go back and prevent him from being and coming to existence, and it still didn't work. I want to say that again. Previous Ghost Rider traveled forward in time, then backward to try to prevent Cosmic from happening, and it still didn't work. Because Cosmic went back and rewrote his own history.
So that was Cosmic Ghost Rider having his "oh, I fucked up" moment.
Pretty much. When I heard about that, and I didn't get to read it. It was just one of those videos that like somebody did the comic strips in order and everything, and stuff on it. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! That is so stupid." I like these people make a lot of money, but from a fan aspect, I'm like, that is such a cop out story run. That is, and that was its own comic. It wasn't even like part of the main storyline of the costume. It was just something they decided to do to sell the books.
Really?
I'm just like, why did you think that why? That wasn't necessary. You could have, you didn't have to have that storyline in the cosmic thing to explain how powerful he is. Wasn't necessary.
That's awesome.
Technically, no. When Deadpool kills a universe, there's still people in the universe that survive. It's all about how much money they can make, what characters are going to sell, rather than like him actually taking out the universe. And it's always the main people.
Yeah.
We see that in the in Avengers, I think it is. Like Peter like tosses it or whatever. Don't we? Don't we see that?
What was that?
Doesn't Peter Parker actually grab the hammer without realizing it in the Avengers movie? Isn't there a scene of him grabbing it? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I don't think so. Because I think they would have made a much bigger deal out of that. Now I gotta look.
I do not agree that Invincible would be able to kill Superman.
So Spider-Man in 616 cannot lift Mjolnir because he is deemed not worthy, because he is not willing to kill under any circumstance.
That feels contradictory to what the original. Oh, whatever. I don't care.
I'm just telling you what the answer on our Spider-Man on the Spider-Man subreddit is.
The comic version.
Same thing. Hey, Fantali's never wrong, and they agree with me.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with whoever wrote that, because like the fact that he isn't willing to kill and still is putting himself in danger makes him worthy, according to like almost every comic iteration.
Jeffrey Krupp, I play with this idea that Nappa from early DBZ might be the only character that Battle Beast would be strong enough to fight to a standstill.
Here's the thing. If you have to fundamentally change, here's an example. Wolverine versus Batman. You do not need to change Wolverine or Batman. You just simply have to say which Wolverine and which Batman and go from there. Now, Wolverine versus Superman. Don't know why I highlighted that one. Wolverine versus Superman. Not Wolverine versus Superman. Batman versus Superman. Sorry. Batman versus Superman. You have to change what happens to Superman. You have to change his character or his powers for Batman to win. Now, there's a reason why Batman stands a chance against Wolverine and he doesn't stand a chance against Superman, in my opinion. Wolverine has forgotten more about what he has learned, or straight up doesn't have the patience that Batman has. Now, I have admitted outright that if Batman doesn't know about Wolverine's powers and Wolverine goes gung-ho right off the bat, Batman's screwed. If Wolverine goes for the kill right off the bat, Batman ain't surviving that.
Nope.
That it's just not how. I don't care what you say. I'm a huge Batman fan. I've got a statue that I spent days printing of Batman. He's not winning if he doesn't know who he's fighting.
Technically, yes, but the answer is he outsmarted him and out-strategized him and outmaneuvered him, not straight up beat him.
Changed his powers, made him different. You basically took what made Superman Superman and force the fight to happen to begin with. And then on top of that, because you changed it, it gave him a fighting chance. Wolverine, again, depends on the version of Wolverine, depends on the version of Batman. You can say that there's a realistic fight there. And the example of this is the fact that Wolverine has lost against better trained martial artists. That is what you can use to make the argument of why Batman would win. Superman doesn't lose against martial arts. Superman loses against plot armor.
Yeah. That's about it.
Wolverine has constantly been tied down, trapped by normal people, and beaten. His character, it is written and hard-coded that he can be beaten by simple, better skilled people or numbers, so on and so forth. Superman, as he is written, is not beatable on average by any of those things. Iron Fist against who? Against who is Iron Fist fighting? Iron Fist versus Lobo? That would be interesting. Iron Fist versus Wolverine. That would be a good example. Yeah, Iron Fist has more martial arts training than Wolverine does. And Iron Fist actually has powers. Iron Fist versus the IRS would win. The IRS always wins.
The Iron Fist.
Goku, who is Ultra Instinct? Goku versus Superman. I hate this battle for one reason. The creators of both Superman, not the creators, but like the current, like a bunch of the people who write Superman.
Yeah.
And the creator of Goku have said that two things. One, they would never fight. Two, even if some fight did break out, they do not know who would win. And if the creators themselves go, I'm gonna lean on that. It's at the end of the day, if you were to put Goku versus Superman, you have to do the same hoops with these characters as you would anything else. Which version of Superman does Superman retain his powers? Which version, like Ultra Instinct Goku? Great. Does Superman get to keep his powers? Because if he does, I hate to say it, but Ultra Instinct isn't going to do shit against somebody who could decapitate you by going back in time. Superman, one of his powers that has never been retconned is the ability to travel faster than light and travel into time. Goku does not win. I'm sorry, he doesn't.
I disagree, but this stream is not about that question.
Superman goes back in time and before Goku ever becomes Ultra Instinct. Oh, then the fight never happens. That's
this conversation is for another time, but I disagree for a multitude of reasons. They're all technicalities, but for a multitude of reasons.
I love how it's like, you know what? I have to admit that technically, okay.
Technically, the way you explained it, Superman go back in time and go after Kid Goku. Yes, he would kill Goku. The question is, and this is the technicalities that we're not going to get into, would Goku be able to stop him from going back in time before he had the chance to?
Can Goku travel back in time? Can Goku travel fast enough to go back in time?
Not by himself, but yes.
Yeah, but Superman can travel fast enough by himself.
If this is the same argument of Batman versus Superman, because if Goku were to involve Whis, who can turn time back, Whis could.
But at that point, you're giving Goku an upper advantage versus Superman to begin with.
Why? So if that's the case, and that invalidates a win, why do we say that Batman has beaten Superman versus Batman has cheated to beat Superman?
Exactly. I had that same thing.
We're not having this conversation.
Not win against
Superman.
Superman.
That's not what the stream is about.
The one exception to the rule that I love is like the old Batman and old Superman, where Batman won because he knew Superman's ego, and Superman was not expecting old Batman to win whatsoever.
Yeah.
That made the most sense out of every Batman Superman fight ever. Batman effectively died fighting. He had a heart attack and died. Was he brought back to life? Yes, but it's the equivalent of going shock, shock, boom, you're alive. And then he couldn't fight anymore. Okay? Batman won, not because of a technicality, but because Superman never went full power against his friend.
Yeah.
And that is the best storyline ever that I have ever seen of a Batman v Superman fight. Because it made the most fucking sense. I'm sorry. I had to finally cuss.
Is the full version of Stitch dropping today only on YouTube?
Yeah, no, it's only on YouTube, and the reason why is because I didn't want to put all of them across the socials right now.
Okay.
I wanted to give YouTube the opportunity to build momentum.
Cool.
Now, in a week or so, if we want to put it up, we can. If we go, it's not really worth it to put it up there, we won't. There's enough people who watched parts 1, 2, and 3 that I'm like, eh. And like each one, honestly, got less views than the last one.
Yeah.
Well, I think if I put it up as a full one, most people won't see it. Scrappy Doo versus the Tribble. The Tribble wins. Because that little dog can go to hell.
You're never only fighting one Tribble.
There's that too.
I feel like Tribbles should have a defense mechanism. If they're threatened, they can spontaneously reproduce.
If Goku sees someone, yes, he can. Goku can travel much faster than light. They just don't do it in Super. If Goku sees someone using speed to travel through time, he would pick up the ability. No, he wouldn't. What?
Goku can instant transmission from Earth to Beerus's world and back in like 3 seconds, which is billions of light years.
That's the equivalent of Star Trek teleporting. That is not traveling through time, though. And Goku picking up an ability that isn't inherent, but rather just pure speed and power, isn't the same as picking up and doing an ability. I could make that argument with Superman all day long if we wanted to.
It is covering a distance faster than other people can.
Yeah, and I could make the argument
get there faster than light
do that if you wanted to. If we wanted to do the whole Goku can look at somebody and gain the ability, I guarantee you're going to hate how many abilities Superman actually has that hasn't been retconned, and some of them are very stupid, including the ability to shoot tiny clones out of his hands.
What? What?
He can shoot tiny clones of himself. It's never been retconned. It's never been retconned. I looked up some of the most ridiculous abilities that Superman had, and I was just like, what? Like how his glasses actually work, the tiny clones, how his X-ray vision actually apparently at the start of it, this one was changed. He was giving everyone cancer every time he used his X-ray vision. It was so powerful that he was like instantaneously giving them cancer.
So Superman had to lose his other powers to get the tiny clone shooting power.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that so? It's so weird though. It's in the
and then those miniature Supermen can then fight for him. So basically, you're saying that the inspiration for Cell was Superman.
like a quick question: Galactus and Apocalypse put into one character. Who would solo them? No one.
Even though it's wrong, I would want to call that character Galactopus.
Garbuckle. I have not had an actual vacation in a very, very long time, but my character is going to come back. I'm going to try at least to make it look like I have had a real vacation. A vacation would imply that you're not worried about shit. Silver Age comics were wacky. Yes. That's the way you go. But as far as the entire series into one video, if I were to do the entire Stitch series into one video, it would still be one of those things where it's like it's not complete yet. And I have no problem putting out multiple versions of the video. What I have a problem with is that people are going to think that that's the end of it. We've done that before we're done with the series. And then a bunch of people are like, oh, I didn't realize that you continued this. Hey, where'd this part go? And It's like, I don't like, it's easier for us to put it in a playlist, and I need to do that. And then once I get to a certain point, like the halfway point, the proper halfway point, put it as one video, as halfway done or whatever it is, whatever I want the title to be, but make it clear that this is half the story. This isn't the whole story. But we haven't reached the halfway point. The next episode that I got to write is the halfway point.
Yeah.
Divine conceptions happen around Smallville. Yeah, that's. If you were to take the basic version of the story of Superman, it works. The whole Smallville thing does not work. I love the show. It's stupid and should not be canon. The show Smallville.
When they first started the show, they also said no costume, no capes, no flying. And then at the end of the series, what was he doing?
Flying.
Yeah.
Smallville is an awesome series. It shouldn't exist as part of the main canon or any canon whatsoever. And it became part of the canon because it was so good. Could Stitch beat Superman? No. I think the current version of Stitch would stand a pretty good chance, though. The current version of Stitch being able to use force powers, Kamehameha, Kaioken, stands a very good chance.
Yeah.
Of plowing through Superman. I do like the callback in Arrowverse. I agree. It was a cool callback. Who do you think would win, Doomslayer versus the 40K unit? You guys are going to hate this. I don't know. Everything that you have seen in the 40K, Stitch to the 40K, or any of our videos, we don't know shit.
The Doomslayer would not win.
From what I understand, apparently he stands a chance through a bunch of comments in our section. But I honestly don't think he would. Like, there's people who are very obviously knowledgeable about 40K saying that like Stitch would fit in there really well. Doomslayer would fit in there really well. My thing is that I don't know enough about this to be like yes or no. I had to go in order to make this series that wasn't a planned series, because originally the first video I did of Stitch in 40K was supposed to be a throwaway video. It wasn't supposed to be part of the canon storyline. But it did so well and people kept asking for another one. I was like, okay, I need to do another one. So I went to my audience and we discussed it. And then I figured out what I wanted to write. And I was like, okay, I need this, this, and this. Who would this be? Is this an area that I can lean into? And that's how we developed the story, talking about it through the people who knew the storylines, about how we could have Stitch in here and exit relatively quickly before it became obvious that I didn't know what I was doing in this storyline.
Yeah.
That was the key thing. And it was like, if I drag this out for too long, it would become either A, next to impossible to justify making the stories, B, very obvious I don't know what I'm talking about, or C, I would have had to do a dive into 40K that would have taken weeks or months of my time to begin with. And then by then, it would have been a dead series to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy with what we came up with. We found the loopholes that we needed. I got really, really lucky with the character that I picked at the first one. And because of that, I was able to create this story. It was a mixture of just blind, stupid luck picking the right picture.
Yep.
And people coming to my aid to be like, yeah, I want to see this happen. What do you need from us? We have the knowledge to help you out.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
He was one of the main people helping me do that. And a couple, and like Art, and a couple other people.
You know those creatures that killed my Dario?
Okay, can I? Yeah.
Yeah, you
There's a strange sound coming out of my computer. Might be my fan starting to die on me. Sounds like a bird off in the distance almost. Hope not.
He's playing Ark Survival Evolved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like he had a dino randomly attack and kill one of our early on dinos before we went to creative mode.
Yeah.
So now he's going and taming a bunch of dinos, and his goal for this game is to kill all those dinos that killed his first dino that he tamed.
Nice. Nice.
Could Garbuckle, that would be an awesome hero support video. What would be, again, I'm not hero support, but what would be a good hero support video? I love the Scorched Earth map. It's definitely one of my favorites. Partially because when the servers were still live,
The sound was my water bottle, not a bearing going. I was hearing this little sound, and I thought it was my fan and my computer going, but no, it was my water bottle releasing pressure.
Oh. Let's see here. But yeah, oh, do we want to remake the top video? Like when I realized I messed up on like the count. It was combined total between the two, not like the single one. I don't know. We went through all that trouble to remake the Toph versus the Daleks video.
Yeah.
And I like the remake. It makes sense. It makes and it calls out the original video. It still has all the gags that we wanted in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're up for it, we could remake that video. Still go ahead and do that. But if you don't want to, and we want to just,
I guess now that we've let it be what it is for a while, and it hasn't been a huge issue, I feel like it might be too early to remake it.
Do we just want to keep the script and then swing back to it at a later time?
Yeah, probably.
The dice link. Oh, uniquedice.com. Chris, that's for the villain support link. Can you paste that as a comment?
Yeah, I gotta find it. Give me a second here.
All right. I don't have all of the. I don't have the newest one to show you, but I have these.
Oh, I hold on. I've got it right here.
Do you have the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one for me is upstairs. I don't have it down here.
I need to make the video for it. But
they are resending me the bullet dice version. They don't really know what happened.
There's the link.
Remember to not have honey installed, or at least have it turned off before you use that. Otherwise, it steals the commission that we could have made.
I don't think that.
Well, it's not just.
Are you talking to me or them?
Them.
Okay.
Because it's not just stealing the commission. Like, I could care less about the commission. It's the analytics that show that we are driving traffic over there that it really steals. And so there's less chance of working with us. And that sucks because like there is a chance down the road that we show that we're doing so well that it becomes paid sponsorship, which would be nice. You got an echo?
From who?
I don't know.
Who's echoing?
Hopefully not me. Only an echo
Only on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ah. Get off me. Okay.
Is anyone else experiencing an echo on YouTube? Testing 1, 2, 3. No echo on my end.
Nope.
Oh, ow.
You okay?
Just pain. Nothing new. Okay. It's the top part that you unscrew. And then you can add however many balls in there that you want.
Yeah.
And you can jiggle them around and twist them and spin them.
So it's a D20 and a D12.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all.
I see.
It's a 7 and 2 set.
So hold on. So there's a D12 and then the D8 and the D6. The question is, there isn't glass over the D8 or the D6 though.
But.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. I see now. So the arrows point to the section that. Okay, I got it. All right.
Honestly, I like that one better than I do this because I'm not trying to like translate what it turned into for the dice roll. This is great for role playing, and I love how it looks. And I'm probably going to sharpen it eventually.
This is not coming off. This one's not unscrewing.
Weird. It should. May need a.
It's not even moving. The other one came apart really easy.
I don't know good advice. I'm not going to say slam it down on the table.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I did slam mine down on the table because I trusted them well enough. And it was fine. I'm purposely rough with the dice from Unique Dice. Because that was my shtick that sold a bunch of them. Yeah. Was me like taking this and like I still had the hole in my desk that this one gave. And going, and now that summer's here, when watermelon season happens, I'm gonna get a watermelon and some other cantaloupe and stuff, and I'm gonna have some fun. That's gonna be my type of video.
Yeah, it's not working.
What's the design that you chose?
The demon.
The demon one.
Yeah.
There are two things I want to say. One, you guys will see a video where I dropped Cthulhu's name, and Cthulhu gave me that. Right, that's going to be one of the videos. Two, people, without me meaning to, I think I did another funny thing that we're going to have to reference eventually, where I bless you, John. You remember, like in the Facebook comment, is that foreshadowing? Is that foreshadowing from from Zeech? And I was just like, it wasn't, but it is now. It's just my brain going, I'm not going to forget that. Someone gifted me a membership. Oh, congrats, Phantom. Unique Dice like it rough. They do. They are very well. You guys are about to hear me do something. So this is one of their dice. It's just a pure solid metal. It's it looks kind of like a spaceship. It's really pretty. This lighting does not do it justice. So you can see,
yeah,
like,
I can. This one will not budge.
But I can. I'm gonna make sure I don't hit my keyboard. Smack these because these are metal, and I'm pretty sure Chris could do the same thing with his, but his has gears in it. But I've smacked both of these, which have gears on them, into the hole. And they spin just fine. A little too fine. I'm honestly, like, I love all their dice. It's very, very beautiful. Levi, poor abuse table. It's okay. I fill it back in. I have one of the holes needs to be filled in. And the new one now has to be filled in. I got to do that now. But no.
This is wild. So every time I spin this, if I put my finger on it to stop it, the ball bearing 90% of the time lands in the same spot, whatever is the upper right from where my finger is, but it's a different number every time.
Oh, I don't know why.
Here, I'll do this. Hold on. Oh shit.
Oh,
So
that's pretty.
So there's a little ball bearing in there right here. If you see it, so you spin it, and then that is
16.
A 16. 7.
It didn't land in the same spot though.
It didn't that time, but like 5 or 6 spins in a row, it kept landing like right up in that corner for me, no matter what the number was.
Sly Gamer, we're doing pretty cool. Sly Gamer,
I can't budge this one.
Do you need me to reach out to him, or do you want to try to reach out to them?
I will see if I can get it, but like, I mean, I can see that there's a I can see that there's, you know, it goes in to there. I just can't get it to move. I'll
Maybe
try it with
the sides. So take it like, yeah, to all the way around. And it could be that during shipping, maybe it just got.
The other one came apart really easily. That one's not budging.
Both of them on mine came apart really simple. I don't know. I'm not saying, for the record, Unique Dice is actually has a very good customer service. Yeah. I had a blemish on one of mine, and that I wasn't sure was supposed to be normal, and it was basically like right here was basically filed down smooth. And I was like, is that supposed to be like that? And they're like, no, let's send you a new one.
Yeah.
They did not.
Hey, Eileen, if you're watching, could you pop in here and see if you can get this? My wife is strong.
My arthritis sucks.
This is supposed to open like this, and it is. I cannot budge it. This is supposed to come off. So. It's fine if the dog comes in. It's not a big deal.
Ryu does a lot of that for me.
Open it like it was a jar.
Okay.
Do you have a jar opener?
Kind of. We've got like the
I've got
the little like grippy green pad.
Yeah. Oh, I have one that's like got leverage, so it's got like 3 different holes, and you grab it.
Oh yeah, no, we don't have that. No.
I needed that one because as of late, I've had more bad days with my arthritis than good days.
The dog, Daisy, come here. This is Daisy. She's an Australian Shepherd. And then we got Lucky around here somewhere too, but he's our dog who's not going to come here. But Daisy is our super intense, always at 100%, wonderful Australian Shepherd. Good girl. Yes, you are. Always intense about everything. Because she wants to get TREATS's at all times. Good girl. Okay, all done. All done. Go see mommy.
I'd like to make a point that you should be very happy I like dogs. Because if I didn't, I would have said the word.
What word is the word?
The word that you spelled.
Oh.
I'm not wearing my chaotic.
You can mention it casually and she doesn't react, but if you say it to her, then she reacts.
Oh. I know some dogs, like, if you say the word at all.
So, like, we're trying to get this to move.
Yes.
Okay.
I know some dogs that if you say the word at all, they react.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the lid. It's like getting a lid.
No. It unscrews. It doesn't pop off. It unscrews.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, if you get it to kind of, it's like tucked, like stuck on.
I know. It's almost like there's some glue in there or something that is
Which I'm trying to see if we can get.
Shouldn't be any glue.
I don't think there's glue, but
yeah, Levi Mark, and I'm really sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, not all dogs are good dogs.
Yeah, we have some pretty good babies.
I learned because my mom used to train dogs. There isn't a bad dog so much as a dog that was raised badly.
Right.
That doesn't make it any better because I've gotten bit more than once before too.
Yeah.
This thing is brutal, Chris.
I have a couple spots that should have had stitches, but we just kind of like packed them with stuff and hope for the best. I did not have the best medical care as a child sometimes. You live on a farm, you kind of just like slab her on the slab and be like, you'll be good.
Yeah, let's.
I tried to find our grippy thing too. It's not in.
It's not in there? Okay. Let's move on past that. I know I showed this off the other night, but everyone in here, do y'all want to see the video that I made about Battle Beast from Invincible?
You guys want to see it again? When you live on a farm, that's kind of how it goes.
Hayden Fox, that sounds awful over on Instagram. I'm sorry that happened.
For the 28 stitches. Yeah, no, it's not okay. We during a convention, somebody had brought their dog, and it wasn't fully trained. It was in training to be a service dog, and it had it on there. And Tobias was much younger, and Tobias being Tobias, got a little too touchy-feely with the dog, and the dog nipped him, and they panicked. And we were just like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. And they're like, and then like the reaction from them going from panicking to like, you're not going to request. And we're no, the dog doesn't deserve to be put down. My child went and did something that you said specifically not for him to do. That's on us. And he's didn't get hurt. He got a little scratch on his nose. Big deal.
Yep. All right, so here we go. I'm turning my microphone off so there's no echo.
Oh yeah.
Don't support this, John.
Let me speak to Nappa.
No, you don't get to talk to Nappa anymore. John, who doesn't get to talk to me? Battle Beast. Oh, come on, John. Why doesn't he get to talk to me? Because the last time that you talked to him, he provoked you into such a rage that you couldn't even be bothered to fly to the door. You instead crashed right through the ceiling and flew out into space. Then the two of you fought each other to a standstill, both died from your injuries, and we had to resurrect you both. John, that fight was so fun, and I got so much stronger from it.
I'm still waiting.
Hold on. I don't care how fun it was, okay? I mean, it's not happening, Nappa. You both have anger issues, and you have no business being around each other ever again. John, it's just a phone call.
Your hold music is torturous. Release me from it and let me speak to Nappa.
No, you get one free resurrection, okay? Nappa's stronger than he was the last time that you fought him.
Glorious! But how?
That's what Saiyans do, okay? They get injured and they come back stronger.
Are there more of these Saiyans?
A few, yeah, but he's actually the weakest one.
Even more glorious. Where are they?
I'm not telling you, okay? Vegeta would kill you instantly, all right? Goku would fight you at your level about for as long as you could hold out, but never really hurt or kill you. Broly would kill you harder and faster than Vegeta would. And don't get me started on Gohan, Trunks, Goten, or even Pan, okay? You stand no chance.
So can I purchase additional resurrections? I want to fight all of these Saiyans.
Yeah, you can. It's $30 billion per resurrection.
I'll take 5. If any of these fights result in my death, all the better, and it's money well spent.
Okay, I'll use the card you have on file, and I'll send you an order confirmation.
Charge me for 6 resurrections. Nappa has arrived.
What? Battle Beast? Tell Nappa he's using a half day of vacation time for this.
John says you're using a half-day vacation time for this.
John, that's not fair. I get a full hour for lunch.
I would love to do a watch party with our viewers. To be honest, for like reaction stuff as well. You guys, would that be something you guys would be interested in? I can't hear you. Am I muted? Are you muted? There you go.
No, I'm not.
I heard the thunk.
Yeah. So a watch party being that all of us plus viewers are live together.
There are ways to do it with viewers, but it'd be much easier to do it with like members only thing than it would be something else. And the reason why is so that we can have some live reaction. Because I'm sitting here and I'm watching that, and I've got criticism on it, and I've got criticism only on 2 parts, and one's good, one's bad. Bad as in like negative, you know. The negative one is me watching it as a content creator, somebody who's made like the, you know, your partner or everything. I hear the voice, and it's going to be the same thing you've told me. I don't like the voice, right? It's like I know that the voice could be better. But as a fan, as somebody who sat and watched people who make content like ours or our own content, a year later after not listening to it, like when you've done other voices before, it doesn't bother me watching those. But watching it right now, I'm like, hey, but I know like in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm gonna go and watch it and I'm gonna laugh at it a lot better. Ha ha!
Only took her literally 20 minutes of messing with it. Alan, can you bring it in here, please? Thank you.
But it would be so cool for me.
How did you get it?
Pure work and having to like use a knife to kind of uplift at the bottom.
Oh man, okay.
It's done. Hi,
So the
everyone.
question is, if I put this back on here, can I make it so it's easy to remove again?
That is a good question. Hi, Levi.
Hello. We're waiting. I'm waiting on him now. Want to make sure the dice works properly.
Yeah. Well, I did get the lid off.
Did it pop off or unscrew?
Oh, it's unscrewed.
That's not what I asked. No, I know it's unscrewed. Did you get it? Okay, there we go. It wasn't sitting into the.
It was just incredibly tight.
It wasn't setting into the groove.
Properly.
There it goes. Okay, so.
But yeah, doing a watch part, and like part of it would be like just because me and you get to sit there and watch a show together and have like a reaction to it, and we'd be able to record it. Have you ever again?
It gets in there really tight, so I gotta just not do it all the way.
But like if you've ever seen Danny Mata where he reacts to stuff, he cuts back and forth between like his full frame and the show and stuff. I would love to have a watch party where, and it doesn't matter. It would be nice to have multiple people in there, but it'd be very awesome with the knowledge that we're going to pause it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to laugh at it. We're going to have moments where we just go all the way through and then stop it and then talk about it, rewind and be like, what the fuck was this? You know?
Yeah.
A good example would be watching the Superman v Batman, the old ones.
That
I was talking about, and being like, this makes sense. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Like calling out this absurdity would be hilarious in my mind. But it's also something that like everyone that does our type of, not even our type of content, our type of niche. Our niche, people like we all kind of dip our toes into that. Eventually.
There is there's a video. You know who Punky Doodles is, right?
Nope. You look at me funny, but I don't know.
Hold on.
Neither one of us knew who Alec was until somebody tagged us. Oh, so, yeah. I know.
So this one's kind of funny, but the format of it, I really want to do with either John and Napa or John and Levi. Oh, no.
Your dating give you those? Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Let me try this again.
Are those hickeys? Did the wizard you're dating give you those? Oh, yeah. Turns out they're a necromancer. How are things going with the necromancer you're dating? It's getting pretty serious. They said they want to raise a family with me. Wow, that seems really fast. Yeah, it should be. They're buried pretty close together. So the bodybuilder I'm dating? Bodybuilder? I thought you were dating a necromancer. Isn't that what I said? You should see their deadlifts. How are things going with the necromancer you're dating? Badly? We're fighting. They're mad because apparently I stole their heart. Wait, why would that be a bad thing? Yeah, that's what I said. They've got like a dozen more in their study. Sometimes I worry they only want me for my body.
So that format of Nappa saying something stupid and the dun dun of you and or I just like
The
not-
best part about it is that it wouldn't matter if it was Nappa or Levi playing the funny haha one
Mhm.
because it fits for both characters to kind of
for
have
John
that.
to be like,
Yeah, John's got to be the straight laced, like, how's it going
Yeah.
with that? And it was like, It would be funny if it was both Levi and Nappa.
it really would be.
Because it'd be even funnier. It was like, because I have no problem buying skeleton props because we like spooky stuff in the house.
Well, I'm not saying the necromancer joke, but jokes about different villains. So like bad pun jokes about Thanos, bad pun jokes about Skeletor, bad pun jokes about whoever. And you know, John's on the phone, and it'll be like, hey, how did that call with Thanos go? Oh, it was fine. You know, he wanted to do something, but I told him that he didn't have the stones. You know, like just dumb puns like that. Well, now I want to come up with. I'm going to find some Thanos puns.
It's a very similar mindset of the Star Trek parody stupidity, calling it out.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Do you have the shirts right now?
For what?
The Star Trek shirts, are they clean?
I only have a shirt. I think you have the other two.
Do we want to do them?
What?
Do we want to film one of them?
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, nice. I gotta go. Well, I'll wait until you get back. Remember to get a black shirt. I don't know if he can hear me. I gotta get a black shirt underneath. Kind of like how I wear a red shirt underneath my black one for my call center shirt. Because I don't like having it buttoned all the way up here because I don't like the way it feels against my neck. Because oh, it's a trauma thing. Anyways, I don't like having stuff around my neck like that. Having the realization. I don't like having that on live. Love your Dresden Files material. I need to read the books. I need to dig out every time I dig it out. Like it gets stolen. I need to just buy when I can a new Kindle. But yeah, Patty said that, and then Hayden. If Thanos never learned to snap, how would he balance the universe? You got a black shirt or anything? I'm gonna. No, it just sits up there better for you than it does for me. I'll go and grab a black shirt here in a minute. If Thanos never learned to snap, how would he balance the universe? That would totally be a thing that Levi goes, you know, it's a really good thing Thanos knows how to snap, huh? And you just be like, why? Because then he would never know how to balance the universe. And just Nappa going in the background. And John going, I hate you both. I'll be right back.
Oh. I appreciate the lurking. We do need to have like a bang lurk thing that would do something. I don't know what that's going to be. Yeah, Sly Gamer Scott, perfect, right there. How'd that call Thanos go? It was fine. Yeah, it was a snap. He said it was a snap. Who am I getting text from? Oh, that doesn't matter. And that doesn't matter. Xena, by all means, go right ahead. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I should have taken
My
that.
volume up way too loud.
On a
Well,
Star Trek
I
shirt,
walked
Levi.
in. I walked in right here. I walked in and heard that, and it sounded like somebody was actually in the room. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Captain, we'll make sure to do the captain skit because oh, the doing a skit where I have to lay on the table is going to be an interesting one. If I can get the undershirt to be comfortable. I do not have the most best sized body because like this is the shirt that fits me.
Yeah.
The neck doesn't. I gotta look at myself in the camera and fix my shirt that way. Do you still have the things, or are you pulling them up?
I gotta
now?
find it. Give me 1 second here. So recording it here and there, like you and me here, we can do it, but I think we might need to record the lines ourselves and then remove the backgrounds from our videos and put us in Star Trek-y type backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can edit all that later.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a problem. To edit that all in. The hardest part is, in all honesty, is going to be having a clean cutout that I like. And given the nature of these, I'm not too terribly concerned with the first versions just existing to make a funny joke.
Yeah.
And if they do well enough and justified remaking them so they look better, then we'll worry about green screens and all that stuff at that time.
Oh man. Okay. Let me find that. 1 second.
Best part about it is I think my hair's right there at the right length finally. I'll put this over here. The warp engines aren't. I gotta look up. Which okay. I'm in this shirt, so I have to do. I need to listen to him real quick talk.
There we go. Found him.
The warp engines aren't working. How much longer will it take to get them back online? Oh, God, I hate how accurate that was. Oh, I'm not a huge fan of Kirk.
Right.
My kid loves that one. I'm personally like I love Star Trek and I've watched the original. I'm just not a huge fan of how William Shatner talks as Kirk. That's just me. A lot of people that like Picard are the similar way, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say this. Try Orville, same injury. Yeah, like I love Orville. You're all good. I'm misproportioned. Like I've got the smaller neck, but like the wide shoulders and everything, and it makes finding shirts that fit me comfortably and look decent very, very difficult.
Okay. So I have to literally get off the live and leave in 20 minutes because I have to go to improv practice. So,
okay.
So we're not looking. Actually, we should be looking slightly off center.
Like this?
No, that's too far. Like, have your lines on the screen just off to the side so that you're just not looking right at your camera. Like this is the angle I'm doing right here.
So my camera's right here. So do I want to be facing this way?
Well, you can just edit yourself because we're going to be pulling the backgrounds out anyways.
Yeah.
We can edit me, whatever. So if we're looking in the same direction right now, it doesn't matter. All right. Captain, the warp engines aren't working. How much longer will it take to get them? Oh, I'm reading your line and saying your name.
I have to mute. I know I don't because it's back and forth. So my line. The warp engines aren't working. How much longer? God damn it! I can do it again. I forgot to press record anyways. The warp engines aren't working. How much longer will it take to get them back online?
At least 2 hours.
We have to warp in an hour. You have 45 minutes.
Okay, well, you're welcome to try the warp engines. Okay, hold on, because my instruction is looking at the screen. So here, my first line is going to be me looking down and working on something. My second line will be looking this way as I'm looking at the screen. Sorry.
Do we want to retake the whole thing?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me nix that then.
I'm hilarious with the Darth Jar Jar in the background of a Star Trek sketch.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. 3, 2. Hold on. There we go. The warp engines aren't working. How much longer until they? Damn it! I didn't hit record either. The warp engines aren't working. How much longer will it take to get them back online?
At least 2 hours.
We have to warp in an hour. You have 45 minutes.
Okay, well, you're welcome to try the warp engines in an hour, but they're still not going to work because this repair is going to take at least 2 hours. And if you do try them in an hour, it's probably going to make the problem worse.
How long will it take to fix them if we try them in an hour?
At least 2 more hours at best.
Pretty damn convenient if you think it will convince. Pretty damn convenient that you think it'll coincidentally be another 2 hours.
If it'll make you less suspicious, I can say it'll take 3 more hours instead.
Just tell me when it's fixed. I love the line.
The warp engines are still offline, and it's beyond our ability to repair.
So what are you saying?
All we have are impulse engines for now.
How long will it take to get to the nearest Federation starbase on impulse alone?
73 years, give or take.
What?
Space is big, Captain. Why do I need to explain this to you?
So what are our options?
Call Starfleet and ask them to have someone bring us what we need.
And how long will that take?
I don't know, probably 2 weeks or so.
That's unacceptable.
So you're choosing 73 years then?
I love the screen share. We're taking direct hits. Why?
Because the shield generator is damaged and went offline.
Have you tried turning it back on again?
If I could do that, it wouldn't be offline.
Why can't you turn it off and back on again?
The generator was turned off because it was damaged by enemy fire. The whole problem is that we can't turn it back on again.
Well, then divert power from life support or something.
Why life support? You want us to die faster?
Well, doesn't life support use the most power after the shield generator? Divert the power after
The
it's
shield
working again.
generator is broken, Captain. Putting more power into it isn't going to make it less broken.
We're going to have to skip the sick bay one.
Why?
Oh, okay. Because I don't want to change my shirts a dozen times. All right. Give me a minute.
Are you recording this on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. We're just running through these.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. I'll stop recording.
Yeah, there isn't time for all the costume changes and everything. So
The captain was seriously injured.
how bad is it?
Pretty bad.
What happened to him?
He took a massive electrical shock.
Doing what?
We found him laying on the ground next to the shuttle power source and a pair of jumper cables. I was trying to fix the shield generator.
Have you tried diverting power from life support?
I told the Admiral that we can make it to Earth by Thursday.
Thursday. It's a 2-week trip from here at maximum warp. We can't do it, Captain. We don't have the power or the engines for the transwarp speeds we need to make it by Thursday.
Well, can't we, harness the power of the local sun and divert it into the engine?
First off, that's not a thing. And besides, we don't have transwarp engines.
Look, can you figure something out and just tell me that's what you do? I really need a win with the Admirals right now.
They should know that we don't have transwarp engines. Secondly, you want to tell them I did something that I can't really do?
Yes.
And then what am I supposed to say when they come asking me to show them how to do what you said I did that I didn't actually do?
Please.
I'll try, Captain.
It really didn't work, huh?
Nope.
So then why do I hear about all these creative solutions that Mr. Scott and LaForge always manage to make work?
Because I don't have the benefit of plot armor and being a well-written magical space genie masquerading as a chief engineer.
That's not funny.
Beep, beep, beep.
Shit!
I asked you yesterday if you could be here by Thursday.
Turns out we can't.
Why?
Ineffective lead engineer.
Care to explain yourself? This moron thinks we're on Star Trek. That's why you're always wearing those stupid shirts?
Then we continue, and then we went down a little bit further. Why are you not in uniform?
Because I'm not a magical genie with plot armor. And the one thing that seems to be actually true is that everyone wearing those damn bright red targets has died. We lost 6 people just this week.
But the main cast never dies.
Except for when they did, and I'm not taking that chance this week or any other week.
But they always come back to life because of the doctor. I'm not a miracle worker, Captain. Neither was Dr. McCoy, but he always... This isn't Star Trek! Except what it is. We need to change out the primary filters. The suspension of belief. The suspension of belief is getting cloudy.
Yeah.
I don't remember writing that.
Neither do I. So for the Admiral, I think there needs to even be a line. Hold on.
This is why they make nuclear sub-captains learn nuclear physics and engineering.
All right, so I've got one new line in the Admiral sketch. Let's go ahead and redo that one.
Where is that?
It really didn't work, huh?
It really didn't work, huh?
Nope.
So then why do I hear about all these creative solutions that Mr. Scott and LaForge always manage to make work?
Because I don't have the benefit of plot armor and being a well-written magical space genie masquerading as a chief engineer.
That's not funny.
Beep.
Shit.
I asked you yesterday if you could be here by Thursday.
It turns out we can't.
Say that as kirkishly as you can.
Turns out we can't.
Why? And I asked you to stop talking like that.
Ineffective lead engineer.
Care to explain yourself? This moron thinks we're on Star Trek.
Wear the stupid shirts.
Hold on.
Yeah, it needs to be.
Turns out we can't.
We
We don't have the power. Why?
Okay, I'll
And I asked you to stop talking like that.
Okay. It really didn't work, huh?
Hold
Nope.
on. There we go. Nope.
So then why do I hear about all these creative solutions that Mr. Scott and LaForge always manage?
Because I don't have the benefit of plot armor and being a well-written magical space genie masquerading as a lead engineer.
That's not funny.
Beep.
Shit. Beep. Just
I asked
completely
you
dropped character.
yesterday if you could be here by Thursday.
Turns out we can't. We don't have the power.
Why? And didn't I order you to stop talking like that?
Ineffective lead engineer.
Care to explain yourself? This moron thinks we're on Star Trek. That's why you're always wearing those stupid shirts? Actually, instead of that, I'm going to go, that's why you're always wearing those stupid shirts. Like it's a he knows what Star Trek is.
Yeah. So it needs to be an aspirated. That's why you're always wearing those stupid shirts. But it's so far in the future that it's like not caught. It's like, God, I recognize those, but I don't know what from type of thing. I think the one you had, the power, actually fits really well.
All right. I really was intrigued by this comment. Something like my lead engineer isn't MacGyver. But
we can actually do that. Just have it be another call out shortly afterwards. Like after the Admiral, that's why you're always wearing those stupid shirts. And then like another as another skit. It has to be something else is broken. The transporter is broken. Why can't we transport down to the planet? Because it's broken. Well, can't you just whip something up? MacGyver that shit. And then the lead engineer was like, pick one. Star Trek or MacGyver.
Hold on. Go back to the I told the Admiral we can make it to Earth by Thursday sketch. I added something in.
I told the Admiral that we could make it to Earth by Thursday.
Thursday? It's a 2-week trip from here. We can't do it, Captain. We don't have the power or the engines for transport speed we need to make it by Thursday.
Well, can't we like harness the power of the local sun and divert it into the engine?
First off, that's not a thing. And besides, we don't have transwarp engines.
Look, can you just figure something out and tell me that's what you did? I really need a win with the Admirals right now.
They should know that we don't have transwarp engines. Secondly, you want to tell them I did something that I can't really do?
Yes.
And then what am I supposed to say when they come asking me to show them how to do what you said I did that I didn't actually do?
What? Yes.
What? Your line is please.
Oh. I got sorry, I got confused on the line. Please?
They also know I'm not MacGyver.
Parody, please?
I'll try, Captain.
I feel like that line could be better. I really do.
Yeah, I'm sure it could. We'll have to work on it later, though, because I got to go.
Oh, okay.
I got to be downtown at 4:30, and it's about a half hour to get there. And it is currently 3:56.
All right, everyone. I'm going to call it quits here as well and go spend some time with the kiddos. Thank you all for joining us for this pre-show for the show. I wish you all peace of mind, serenity, abiding spirit. Remember to check out Unique Dice. If you haven't had a chance, just go ahead and go check them out. They've got some really awesome stuff. I wish you all peace of mind, serenity, abiding spirit, and harmony among others. Until the winds blow your sails our way again, have an Acme day. Have an Acme day as a practice on. Have an Acme day. We'll retroactively build to your account. Have an Acme day.
Not everybody. Well, I guess it's not night yet, but have a good day and then a good night tonight.